Alright, welcome to this speedrun how to play of Beaversdam. Okay, first of all, we've each gotten, we're playing a two-player game here, with just me trying to fill both roles, so we've each drawn a encounter card to begin, and so one player has a warn, one player has a channel. Okay, so red will go first, because that's my favorite color, and so I'll just kind of explain how to play as we go along here. So, first of all, the blue water is the deep water, and that's just going to be completely safe to do actions in, and this is the partly flooded in the tealish color, and that is moderately safe to do actions in, where all the green stuff is dry, and that's more dangerous as far as predators go. And so, this board will change over time. You see there's states, 1 out of 4 is the current board state. So for example, I'll just show this quick. That's state 4 where everything is flooded. So we'll go back to state 1 because that's where we're at. To flood it, I'll need to build these dams. So I will start by trying to build a dam, I think. So I'm going to go to the slightly risky area and roll for a birch. So before collecting stuff, you do roll this encounter die to see what happens when you go to this space. This only happens when you try to collect things. So on your turn you'll have 4 moves, or 4 actions. An action is moving and doing whatever it is at the space that you go to. You don't have to do the thing, you can do the thing. Okay, so we've gone to birch, we're going to try to get a birch. So we're going to roll this die, and it comes up mud, so we get a mud. Now you can carry up to 2 things. So that was 1 action. We also get a birch, because that's what we were there for. Okay, so we're going to actually go, we're right next to the lodge, so we're going to go there for our second action, and just put this stuff in the lodge. So to build the lodge, first of all, you can only put rocks in the bottom layer of the lodge. You'll be building a little dome here. First of all, you build just in these 4 squares with 1 on top, so we've started on that. Now for the third action, there's rocks right there. Those would be dangerous to get. I'm gonna risk it though. So third action, risk it for efficiency. I'll roll this die. It's completely dry here. That was a really lame roll, and it did come up predator. So this predator face means that whether it's partly dry or fully dry, you will have a predator encounter. So we go over here, and the way this would work is, I'm fudging this a little because it's just me. So the green player would be able to see this board, while the red player would only be able to see this board. So to kind of show what that would look like in Tabletop Simulator, go over here, and you can get here with F3 as well. Click the Hidden Zone tool, and you just pick whatever color is the color of the person doing the encounter. In this case it would be red, but my player color is white, so we'll stick with white here. So you notice that I can't see anything here. Now I also can't see player hands in there. I can't see anything that would get dragged in there. So you can put the die in there, I can't see it. So that's how you would do that. Now I do need to see this because I'm just doing it myself. So what you do is, well, first of all, what you would do first is the players who aren't experiencing the encounter would roll the die in here where the other player can't see it. Whatever side it turns up to, they'd put this predator on the matching spot, and then the encounter player over here would begin the encounter. Since it's just me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pick a direction as if I don't know what's happening, and then I'm going to roll the die to see how that turns out. So in an encounter, the beaver moves 1 space per turn, while the predator moves 2 spaces per turn, and they alternate turns with the beaver starting first. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go this direction for my first move. So let's see how smart that was. Okay, that's right where that was. So that's not a good thing. So I happen to be going in the direction of the predator, pretty much. So in addition to putting this predator out, the other players will also keep track of where my beaver is going. So I've moved here, so you reflect it here as well. Okay, so now, so this was me. I have the warn card. The other player has a channel card. It would be much better the other way, because warn can only be played by the player who isn't having the encounter, and channel can only be played by the player who is having the encounter. So we kind of got the wrong things. So basically, all that can be done is the predator takes its turn, because none of the cards work for this. So then the beaver's going to move, and it's going to move right into the predator, and that will kill the beaver. So that's a rough start. So with the beaver out, goes off the board for now, and we'll have to spend this extra beaver plus some food, some plants, to get that beaver back. So, and this can stay over there. Alright, so that ends the turn, and the beaver loses everything it was carrying as well. So, fortunately I wasn't carrying anything because I just put it in the lodge. But that means it is now Green Beaver's turn. Since I'm going to need plants in order to get healed here, or, well, not get healed, that's a thing too, but in order to be brought back to life, so to speak, in the form of a new beaver, Green is going to try to get plants. So he goes to plants 1. Once again he's collecting, so he needs to roll the predator die, or the encounter die. Okay, he rolls a mud as well. So he gets a mud, he also gets a plant. So in order for it to be used by the dead beaver, or the up-and-coming new young beaver is what it technically is, it has to be put in the food storage. So I'm going to go do that. So that was 1 turn to get to plants, so 2, or one move rather. And this is food storage 1, which is the only available food storage right now, so anything has to go in these 3 spaces. You fill it left to right. So the first bit of food would go there. So now we have a food. We have 1 more move. I'm currently carrying 1 mud. I could pick up another mud right here. So that's 4 moves, and I have 2 mud. Okay. So now it's Red's turn. Red is currently dead, but we can bring in a new beaver, so that beaver goes away. We spend the food to feed the new beaver, so it grows up to be a usable beaver, and you show up in the lodge. Now, if the lodge was built to at least the first lodge level, you could just start from there. As it is, it's not, so you do need to roll a predator encounter die when you come in, and that is rotten luck again. We've managed to roll a predator again. So there's only, it's an 8-sided die, and that's only 1 side, so this is a pretty rough start. So, we'll see if we survive. Okay. So once again, I'm going to pick a direction here, whereas you would usually set this up first. Get the die over here, as you would do. See where it ends up. Okay. So this time the predator is going to start over here. And then move that to indicate that I've gone that way. Okay. So now I'm going to move here. And that's reflected here. Oh, actually the predator would move first, I'm sorry. So the predator would move toward the beaver. Okay, so then you would move to here. And then the predator would move toward the beaver again. And I guess I was feeling like going that direction. So you reflect that there. And then the predator moves again, and it hasn't gotten to me yet, so I'm able to escape the board unharmed. So that time we had much better luck on the predator encounter, and so now I can begin my turn as my new red beaver. Okay, so that was dangerous, a little too dangerous going after those rocks, so instead, and also let's not forget to move the roundup one, I'm going to, I think, get some rocks from here. 1, 2, 3. So that's fully flooded, so I don't have to roll a predator encounter because it's completely safe for beavers. So I have 1 more move. I might as well go get a mud. So I can do could have picked it up on the way there, but you don't have to do the action on the space that you're on. And yes, beaver issues. Okay, so now it's green's turn. Green has 2 mud, so I think he's gonna go start on this dam section over here. So 1, 2, 3 moves to get there. Then he's going to drop off a mud, so mud needs to be placed. It can't be placed next to other mud, and it can't be placed next to more than one rock, but more than one mud can be placed next to a rock, so this is fine. So that was 3 moves, and then I'm going to end on socialize. So that's 4 moves. So what socialize does, we'll show it here. Because red will go. First of all, we'll move the round mark. We're playing the 20 rounds because it's a 2-player game. So I am holding things, a rock and a mud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move on through here. I don't have any food to drop off, unfortunately. I'm going to go to socialize. So once per turn, you can enter the socialize space. And if there, well, you can enter the space more than once, but up to once per turn you can collect an additional encounter card if there is at least one other beaver on that space when you enter it. So it looks like I got another warn card. Okay, so that was 2 moves to get there. We do need plants, so I'm going to try for plants again. And that was kind of a sad roll. Looks like we ended up, it's kind of cocked, but it's that. So that is a Beaver life card. These are the event cards of the game, so let's see what it says. We'll just do this right away, whatever it says. More than one beaver cannot occupy the same space at any time until the start of your next turn. Okay, so we have a limitation here. But good news is my turn is almost done. Other good news is I did get a plant, although I'm already carrying 2 things, so I think I'm going to drop the mud. You can do that. Hand limit is, or carrying limit is 2. 1 for the teeth, 1 for the paws, apparently. So that was 3 moves, and now I'm just going to go into the birch space. I'm not going to collect birch, so I don't have to roll the predator encounter die, because I'm not actually collecting anything. Okay, so it's green's turn. He's currently carrying nothing that can go back in there. Now he's going to, I think, get a birch, because we're going to want another birch over here. So go here, roll that die, see what happens. We get another Beaver life card in effect here. What do we got? Teeth getting too long. Remove the 2 most valuable logs from the food storage, or if by the end of your next turn you have not harvested 3 logs of any type, you die. So we're unable to remove any logs from the food storage, so this condition becomes the condition. So I need to harvest 3 logs of any type by the end of my next turn. Well, the good news is, here's 1. So, and you can just stay in the same spot and do the same action. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll have to roll this again. And so we roll the eyes. So this would only be dangerous if it were completely dry. That would send us to a predator encounter. But since it's partly flooded here, it does nothing. So that just means we get another birch. That was our second turn. So to meet this requirement, we'd need 1 more by the end of our next turn to not die. So just going to go ahead and 3, 4 for the end of this turn. And now I can put 1 of these in here, because you can't have 2 of the same type of log next to each other, so I can't complete that, unfortunately, quite yet. And so it's red's turn, so on to the next round. Now red is going to go to the lodge to put down a rock for 1 move. And then I'm going to go 2, 3, pick up a mud, and 4, drop off of food in the food storage. Okay. Now it's Green's turn. Let's see, he's gonna scooch down to here. For 1, drop off this. 2, 3, try to get another birch so that his teeth don't kill him. And that is another Beaver life card. However, he will get his log, so this one will be done. Okay, what happens now? Dam springs a leak. Remove either 1 mud or any combination of 2 logs or rocks from 1 completed dam section. The water level drops accordingly until the section is repaired. Well, guess what? We don't have any completed dam sections, so that card does not apply. Alright. Now, we're going to go ahead and let's see, what all can we can put a birch here. But I think I will go ahead and get a mud for my last action. So now it goes on to round 5, and the red beaver starts his turn again. Okay. So here we go. We have 1 mud. We can put a mud here. So I'm going to, well, we're going to need to fill something in with something that's not a mud, not a, well, this could be a mud actually, okay. So we're good on that. So because of that, I will grab another mud for my first action. Okay. 2, we're just not going to do anything there. 3, okay, so a mud can go here, and a mud can go here. So basically, when you're putting stuff in here, and this does complete our small lodge, by the way, having this little dome here. So the rule here is that you cannot have anything sharing a side of the same type. Aside from that, the only rocks can go on the bottom, as I said earlier. Or I mean, rocks can only go on the bottom, let's say it that way. So, in other words, you couldn't have like this, or like that, either. This wouldn't be legal having those 2 touching, this wouldn't be legal having these 2 touching. So, but the way we had it was fine. We're just sharing an yeah. They're kitty corner to each other, that doesn't count as touching, so. Alright. So I believe red did all his actions. And now there's a level 1 lodge, which unlocks this extra beaver, which is important because we'd lose if another beaver died without having a replacement beaver. So now it's Green's turn. Green is, okay, Green's going to go, I think, work on this bit of dam over here. So 1, 2, 3 just to get there, and then drop these things off, following the placement rules. So again, logs can't be next to the same type of log. Rocks must be next to at least 1 mud. Mud can't be next to 2 rocks. I think that's it for those rules. Okay, so that was 3 moves to get there. Yeah, let's see, let's go socialize actually. Okay, next round. And let's see, I should have kept this with the player who drew it. I believe this was red, so I think this card's expired. Yeah? Okay. Alright, let's go get some, so that the level 2 lodge will start over here, and it'll build up to 3 levels in this same type of pattern. So, for the sake of speed, I know this burned me last time, but I'm going to go try to get rocks again. So, we'll see how this goes. Okay, better luck this time, so far anyway. We'll see what the event is. Most of these are bad. Flash flood. All beavers currently on fully flooded spaces, unless in the lodge or on a dam section, are wounded Beavers cannot move into fully flooded spaces for the rest of this round. Okay, so green is wounded. So he takes a wound token until he clears this. He can only move 2 spaces per turn. So that's unfortunate. Fortunately, this only applies for the end of the round, till the end of the round, but unfortunately the round only just started. So, okay. So we do get a rock, though. Alright. So, that was 1. Gonna go here for 2, might as well. Drop it off here. Then I'm gonna get a birch. Try to get a birch anyway. Okay, so that's the first time we've rolled Beaver. There's 2 of these on the die. So Beaver means if we don't have this scent pile activated, which would be a bit of a risk to maintain this at this point in the game, neighboring beavers come along and steal 1 food out of our food storage. The most valuable food that's in there, which currently we just have plants. So they go ahead and they steal that. But I do get a birch. So let's see, that was how many moves we were in the 1, 2, 3, okay. I think that was 3. A little hard to keep track of while narrating this. So I have a birch. I'm going to simply go back to the lodge with the birch, I think, and put it here. So that's legal. Now, Green's turn. He is wounded, and he can't move into fully flooded space. He can move out of fully flooded spaces. Okay, so he's going to go try to get plants, I think. That he does after all. The predator die, he gets a mud though. And also the food. And he's going to do that action again, or is he? So if this wasn't in the food storage to heal, he would need to eat 2 of them. If it is in the food storage, he just eats it like a new beaver would to heal. I think we're just going to go get a birch and add it to the lodge potentially later. Although I do have a mud already, maybe I'll just bring a mud over to the lodge. But my turn's over since I'm wounded and I can only move 2. Okay, so here goes Red Beaver as soon as we move the round marker up. Okay, in the lodge, currently has nothing. This card is done. Good riddance, I say. Kind of want another rock, but I think I'll play it safe. I might as well get a birch while I'm here. And that is a Beaver life card. What's going to happen today? Dam springs a big leak. Well, guess what? There's still no completed sections, so we're good. Card does not apply. Alright. And I get a birch. Okay, now I'm going to go 2, 3, pick up a rock. And 4, make my way back. Alright. Now Green Beaver is, I think, just going to go 1, 2, drop this off in the food storage and then eat it to not be wounded. So somewhat uneventful, but what do you do when you're a wounded beaver? Your options are limited. Okay, now I'm going to go take my stuff to the lodge, so 1, 2. Put this, can't put it there, I need to put this down first. And then put that there. Okay, that's all legit. Okay, so this will have to be a Mud or one of the other two types of tree, aspen or maple. So mud would be the best thing, I guess. So I'll just go in that direction. Let's see, we could use a... I might as well pick up a birch. I'll try to pick up a birch. Okay, that's the beavers stealing food. There's no food to steal, though. Okay, so I do get a birch. And now green has been healed. And so I have this mud. That mud could go here and finish this dam section. A rock could go, it could not go there, because a rock can be adjacent to another. Wait, yeah. Mud can be adjacent at most to one rock, so I cannot put a rock here. This would have to be an aspen at this point. So, nearest aspen is here. What we're going to do is go 1, 2, drop off the mud. That completes that dam section, but both of these need to be completed to raise the water level. Well, ones that are both in this section, you see. So then 3 and then 4. We'll try to get an aspen. I maybe should have gotten food first, because now it'll be harder to bring in a new beaver if this goes badly. Which we did just roll a predator encounter, so we'll see here. Alright, I'm going to say that I'm going to go off in this direction this time. Okay. And the predator is starting over here. I went off this direction. Oops. This direction. And so this is the green player having the encounter now. So red could play Warren. Can play 1 card per turn. However, with the predator over here, I think this will end okay. So we'll hold off on that Warren for now and see how things develop. So the beaver has moved 1. So the predator sees it going off this direction, so it's going to go ahead and go like this to try to cut it off. Okay, and again, the player not having the encounter controls where the predator goes. And you just try to move the predator as if it's hungry. So, the player's going to go again. And the predator is going to go again. And, oh gosh, which way would I have gone? I should have decided this before rolling. Here, we'll roll this. If it's not what I'm thinking of, then I will, okay. So, with that roll, I go in a safe direction. And I get away for free rather than getting wounded, injured. If you are on the edge of the board and the predator runs into you, then you're wounded. If you haven't made it to the edge and the predator is in the same spot as you, then you are killed. That is the difference, but in this case I made it off the board before the predator was still here, and so he didn't get to me. So, managed to escape without any danger. Could have played this channel card as well, but didn't need to. So we'll talk about that later, I guess. Okay, so got away free, clear, got an aspen out of the deal. Okay, so now on to the next round. It is Red Beaver's turn. Red Beaver has a birch currently, and was wanting to get a mud to put in here. Although I can't use my birch in there, so I think what I'll do let's see. Well, I'll get the mud since it's here and I'm here. It's 1, What we can do is put the birch in food storage. That'll count as points toward the end of the game unless it gets stolen. So that was 2 moves. And then I'm gonna head back toward the lodge. I'm gonna collect another mud as I do that, actually. So I pass through that space. So that's Red's turn. Now I'm gonna bring this aspen over. Gonna pick up a plant along the way, though, I think. So 1 move, let's follow the stag. Okay, that's a mud. A mud or a plant. I think I prefer the plant at this point. Wait, nope, changed my mind. I'll take the... yeah, I'll keep the plant. I'll keep the plant. Okay, so 2, 3. Put this in here. You can't put plants in the dam because they're not good building materials. So we've completed both of these now. So that means we're up to the next flood level. Huzzah! Okay, 2 more actions for this guy. And I am gonna go get another plant, this time for free. And end on socialize, okay. Now there's a hand limit of 4 for these cards. We haven't used any yet, so you're probably wondering what they're for. But that's simply a happenstance that we haven't needed to or haven't been able to. So, Red's turn. Looks like we're halfway through the game here. Let's see, what do we need? We need Red to go to the lodge. So he's going to go to the lodge. Put this down here. Unfortunately, I can't put the other one down. So this will have to be an aspen actually, but aspen is a little safer to get now. So 2, 3, and that's a beaver stealing our food, sadly. Now we might want to think about going to maintain the scent pile, now that it's a little safer to do it. But I do get an aspen, so that's the silver lining there. Okay, and then 1 more move. Don't really want a rock. What I could do, I think I'll go here, actually. Instead of going to the lodge, I'll actually put both of these in the dam. Yeah. And that'll just start progress toward the next section fairly nicely. Okay, so now it's blue, blue. Green's turn. I was looking at this. So I didn't go to socialize. I certainly could have done that and picked up an extra card. Kind of forgot about that. But anyway, Green's headed toward the food storage here. For 1 move, drop those off. So now we have a good supply of healing herbs or plants, cattails, whatever. So second move, I think we need aspen at this point. So I'm gonna go 2, 3, gonna skip the plants and opt for building materials, I think. 4. So we do have to roll here. Okay, it's a Beaver life card. See what happens. We get a timber. I'm trapped under a fallen tree and cannot move until another beaver comes to my space and spends an extra action to set me free. Fortunately, Red is right nearby. But I guess I'm here, so I do get to collect my aspen. It goes over with the green guy. But let's see, how many turns was that? That was the 4th, wasn't it? Okay. So Red we'll come over here. Spend 2 actions total then. To free green beaver. Although the first action he can actually use to try to get an aspen. Heavy rain makes a muddy mess. If you are in a partly flooded space, end your turn without resolving your space's action. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, so because of that, any other beavers currently on partly flooded spaces skip their next turn, and beavers can't move into partly flooded spaces until your next turn begins. Okay, so we're all in partly flooded. That means we skip some turns, and I think I actually forgot to move that, so I'm going to move it again. And it's red's turn again, essentially, and the next turn is beginning. So, let's see. And now, again, I'm going kind of fast, so I might have screwed something up here, but I believe I didn't get the aspen at the end of all that, and we wasted a turn each because we were both here. He's still trapped, so I still need to spend an action to free him. So I'll go ahead and do that. 1 action spent freeing the beaver. Do that in the right order this time. So that goes away. Now I have 3 actions left. So yeah, let's try for the aspen. So we're here. Oh, another beaver life. It's going to happen. Teamwork! Until the end of next turn, any beaver entering a space occupied by another beaver gains an extra action unless they've already shared a space with that beaver during their turn. Okay. So, unfortunately, we're already in the same space. So that's kind of not as ideal. But, worse things have happened. I'm going to... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't really benefit me, unfortunately. So, I'm gonna just go to the lodge. Actually, hold that thought. Gonna roll for a second aspen here, I think. I did forget to pick up one. This will be the... Let's see, so I freed the beaver, and then I got an aspen, so I have 2 actions left. And this is one of them. What do we got? Lodge needs refreshing. You can no longer replace killed beavers with young beavers until 2 logs of any type have been brought to the lodge and returned to the supply, not added to the lodge, but simply returned to the supply. Okay. Well, it's kind of important. I do have 2 aspen here. I could do it. I kind of hate to waste them though. So I think what I'll do, 1 move left, I'll just move there. And let's see, let's just have green beaver. You can use a birch for that. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this on the dam over here. Put it there. That's 1. Gonna not do the plants. Well, actually, might as well do the plants. They're free. And then 1 to the lodge, so we have this half done. So that was 4 moves. Okay, moving on. Alright, so then, so 1 move. So 1 of these is going to go toward that card. To the end of your next turn, actually, so this actually gives me an extra move. So teamwork does benefit us. This goes away since I spent the wood to do that. and this one's going to go here, and this one we can actually use a birch, so maybe let's go ahead and do that. So I get an extra move here. I was here. So 1 minus 1, so I still have 4 moves then. So we're going to go get a birch. Let's see what's the most efficient way to do this. Maybe get another birch. 2, 3, and I already did this once, so I can't do it again. So that's level 2 launch, so we get another beaver. Spare beaver. And put that in there. And I have one more move. So, let's see, we can't put a rock here because of this rock here. That was maybe bad planning. So, we're going to go, can put another birch in there, so let's go ahead and go get another birch. Okay, so green's turn. We can put a rock over here. We could also put birch over here, though. This has to be an aspen, actually. We might have kind of screwed that up, but I'll just go the direct route, I think. I guess, yeah, to try to get done as much as possible as soon as possible. Except I do have this, but I guess we don't need to use it, so I'll just discard that. So rolling here, we have a predator encounter. So, where's my extra moves? Okay. So I'm gonna go, I've decided which way I'm going. The full way this time, so. Alright. Okay, so the predator's starting up here. And I've decided I'm going this way. Right, he does predator moves first. And I decided I was going to go down. Once again, I think I'm ahead of the predator. The predator would be there. Sorry. Okay. Let's back this up a little. Okay, so predator started here. I was here. So there, 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 and gotta be. So another happy ending on the predator encounter. So, alright. So that means I get a rock. And then second action, I'm gonna go try the same with the aspen. Got a mud. I could use the mud, but I'm also getting an aspen. Doesn't really matter. I guess I'll take the aspen. Oh, hold on, I just realized I can't use the rock in there. So let's see. So I got a mud. I'm gonna use here. I got the mud from the encounter also. I'm swapping that out for my rock. And then I got an aspen from space, so I'm swapping that out with the food. So I now have mud and an aspen. So third action, go to the dam. Gonna put the aspen there and the mud. Doesn't really matter which place I put it, here or there. Okay. Alright, so that was only 3. Can't really do anything particularly useful. I think I will head over this direction. Or maybe I'll go get it. Well, I don't really need an aspen right now, that's the thing. Okay, maybe it would have been smart to do that. Alright. And that is green's turn, so next round. Okay. Red is going to, let's see, a mud would do nicely here, so I'm going to go get a mud. 2, 3 for working on the lodge. Can go there and that can go there. And then gonna go out and I can get a birch to add to the lodge. So we're gonna do that. Okay. Now green's turn. So I was going in the direction of a maple just because it adds points. It is a little risky to do, but that's alright. Okay. You're encountering this, I think, until you're at the end of your next turn, so that's good. Lodge needs refreshing. You can, oh, I just did this one. I must have accidentally put it. In on the spot. Beautiful weather. Choose one beaver to move immediately to any space on the board and perform that space's action. This doesn't cost an action. Okay. Well, so where did I give this to? I gave that to the wrong beaver. Okay, so gonna move him here. Just put the thing for free. All right. So, all right. So we get a maple as well. Do I try that again? 2, 3, 4. No, I'm gonna take my maple and I'm gonna go here. Complete this section. Okay. All right. So that was 4. It's round 15 here. So red beaver's gonna move. What's red beaver gonna do? So this we could put in aspen to work on it. Slightly risky to do. I might actually work on building this dam section. So this can take birch. So we're gonna go get some birch. Can take 2 birch up here, so might as well do that. 1, 2 actions. And then I'm just gonna make my way over there. 3 and 4. Okay, green's turn. Might as well help build that thing. So we can take. Yeah, might as well go get an aspen, maybe 2. See how this goes. Okay, beavers steal a food. You take from the left and shift everything left when you take food. Although also the beavers do steal the most valuable food. Since they're both plants, that's the least valuable thing. They just take one of the plants. So, they get an aspen. Let's see, second action, should we just try to get another aspen? Probably. Okay, another event. This just kind of happened, didn't it? Forest fire. All beavers ending this round in dry or partly flooded spaces are injured. Beavers cannot move into dry spaces until the start of your next turn. Well, then, I need to get out of here, don't I, to not be injured. Okay, I think we can manage that, though. Alright, meanwhile, I do get an aspen. Okay, 3, and then I'm going to end in socialize. So, okay, on to the next round. It is Red Beaver's turn. Red Beaver is going to take what he's carrying, which is 2 green logs. Put them in here for his first action. So this will work to put them like this. And then I think what I'll do, I'll head toward the maple. Let's see, that was I was on the birch to begin with, is that right? Oh wait, hold on. So That was 3 moves to get there. Yeah, so I can't actually make it back to socialize, so yeah, I'll have this direction, I think. It's just dry that we can't go on to, yeah. Okay, it is the start of Green's next turn now. Did I move that up? I might have forgotten. I don't think so. Okay, sorry, got distracted. Okay, it is the start of his next turn. Alright, so he's got a load of things to bring over here, so he's going to do that. So, 2 actions to bring stuff here. Let's put this one here. And then I'm going to go 30 spaces, so I guess here. And we'll just put a rock or a maple here or here. Okay, so that was 2 actions if I counted right. Actually, this could be a birch as well, so let's go get a birch. Okay. Now on to the next round. Okay, I'm gonna go risk a maple. Okay. Roll that down. Get a mud. And a maple. Not bad. Okay. So I can't use the mud over here, but I can use the maple. So let's go ahead and do that one. 2, 3 rather. Okay, so the maple I'm just going to put in one of these spots. And the mud I can't use immediately back in the lodge. So actually let's reverse that a little bit. As I'm swinging through here, I'm going to drop that mud off in this one. Right about there. And then put the maple in there. A little bit of reverse engineering there. That was 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna go get an aspen. Or try to get an aspen. And that looks like it's technically cocked, but it's that. And this would be a predator encounter and completely dry, which it isn't, so it's nothing except for I get my aspen. Okay, Green's turn. Got this birch. Heading, where was that birch? Oh, did I put that in the wrong spot? I did put that in the wrong spot. Well, I guess we can't go back on that now, can we? So I am next to food storage too, though. So what I'll do, should I get another birch first? No, that's alright. So I'm going here, putting this in food storage 2 for 1 action, and then I'm going to have to roll the predator encounter die to do this, but since it's partly flooded, we are doing the scent pile. That'll keep beavers from stealing our food. We'll get to that in a second, because first we have to figure out what happened in beaver life. Okay, strong winds. Until the end of your next turn, felling trees is too dangerous. Beavers cannot collect logs. Okay. At the moment, not terrible. So, not great, but not terrible. So the scent pile, what you do is you take this, and you put it 3 spaces ahead on the round track. And until this meets that, you are immune from beavers stealing your food. Okay, alright, so that was 2 actions. So we can't get trees, we can get rocks. We prefer to get trees at this point in the game, but such is life. I'll get a rock. So this was 2. So that was 1 birch, so this was 3. So Beaver tries to steal the food, but nothing happens because we have the scent pile scented up. So I get a rock. And then fourth move, might as well pick up an aspen. Oh, can't do. So we'll just stay on the rocks and try to get out of the rock. That's what we'll do. And another beaver event card. Beaver life card. Your fur is a mess. You must take 3 actions to preen your fur, or when another beaver enters your space, it can preen your fur for 1 action to restore waterproofing, so you can once again go into fully flooded spaces. Okay. So it sounds like that will be something that red will do next. So here's red. Can go spend an action preening your fur, so this is taken care of. And until the end of your next turn, so I think, let's see. Yeah, it's still in effect. Alright, so, because of that, so that was 1 action to do the preening. So let's go ahead, try to collect a rock. And that's beavers again, and once again nothing happens. Get a rock, okay. 2, 3, 4, okay. I'm going to drop this off here, and now we've got the next level of flood. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Cool. Alright. So now, it is green's turn. And until the end of your next turn, so we still can't do logs, unfortunately. So how many rocks can we fit in things? I already have 1. What else can we get? Could get mud. I think I'll go get mud. 1. And while we're here, we can activate this for free. So that's just, we're good for the rest of the game on that at this point. 2, 3, and then gonna get a mud. 4. And then red. First, I'll move the marker up. 1. Yeah, I just want to try to get maple here. 2. Roll that time. Another. That's a lot of Beaver life cards coming out this game. Catch the scent of a distant relative. Spend the rest of your turn's actions trying to find him. If the scent marker is on the round track, add 1 beaver to your extra beavers, if available. Otherwise, roll the encounter die, and if you roll a beaver, add an extra beaver. So, I believe, yes, this is on the round track. It's on space 22 right now. So, so we get an extra beaver, which will give us an extra 5 points. So that's nice. And I do get a maple. So let's see, where were we? Left further than that. I think we were here, right? So 3. Let's see. Rock cannot be adjacent to another rock. Must be adjacent. Okay. Mud can't be adjacent to more than 1 rock, so that's fine. I'll put that there. Okay. Alright. I think this is move 4 then to get another maple. I think I might have counted wrong there. Okay, nothing happens with the beavers. Get a maple. Okay. Green's turn. This rock and that mud, you can't use them in the log right now. So we're going to keep working on this dam section, I think. So 1, 2, this is done. And that's done. Where were we? Yeah, we're full on stuff, that's the trouble. 3, this mud. Can we even put this mud anywhere? We can't. That's unfortunate. And that rock can't go there, can it? Okay. So that's the end of it. Okay, so now I think I screwed that up pretty badly actually. But now it is, and especially we need 5 logs to survive winter in here. I really kind of screwed that up there. Okay, so because of that, I'm gonna have to prioritize doing that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to take this log there. 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do this. Actually gonna lose because we don't have enough food stored up for winter. Plants don't last the winter, so they don't count when it comes to that. So this was very bad planning on my part. Exactly how not to play this game. I was too focused on working on this. Didn't realize how short on time we were. So that's all 4 moves just to get there. And the best I can do here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can add a birch to what I got from there. So we don't have enough food to survive winter, so we lose. But if we did, we can go through how this scores, pretending we didn't fail horribly here. So we would have had 5 victory points for each beaver here. And it does include these ones, even if you haven't unlocked them. So that'd be 20 points. Plus, you score this thing, rows and columns, so this is no, so these go away at the end. No, they still take up the space, but so you score it according to this, so let's go through. So rows, 0 points. This is 2 types, so 3 points, and 0 points. And then 1, 2, 3, so that's a total of 6. 3 for this, and then 3 for each column, or 3 total for 1 for each column. Okay, so that's 26 total, and then here we got medium lodge, so 30. So 30 and 26 is 56. And then here we completed these guys. These you score. The small ones, there's 1 times the number of different types of resources used, 2 times for medium, 3 times for large. So here we only use 2 types, 2 times 1 is 2. Here we used 4 types though, so 4, so 6 more points between these. So we were at 56, so we're at 62. Okay, this is 2 times whatever types we got, so 1, 2, 3, 4 types there, and looks like 5 types here. So this is 10 here, and then this is 8 here, so 18. This is 62, so that brings us to 80. 80 points, because these aren't completed. So 80 is the bare minimum if we had enough food for the winter to survive. So the game can definitely be played a little better and with a little more luck, but we did not do those things, and so we did not survive winter. The game ends sadly, and that is how to play. So we didn't talk about these cards. It didn't happen to come up, but we were able or needed to use them. So let's talk about, there's 3 types of these encounter cards. So channel is played by the beaver who's running away, and it can only be played if the encounter is in a partly floated space. If it's dry, you can't create a channel because there's no water, so you can't use that card. But it's used on the Beaver's turn, and it simply lets them take one more movement in their turn. You can use one of these cards per turn, and that's either the Beaver's or the Predator's turn. So Distract is used on the Predator's turn by the other players. Let me check that. I don't think the Encounter Beaver can use it. Could be wrong. Yeah, it's used by the other players. So Distract limits the Predator's movement to 1 for that turn, instead of the usual 2. And Warn is what the other players get to play actually whenever they want during that player's turn, but typically you'd want to use it early, because when you play this, it tells the encounter player that they're probably heading toward the Predator, so maybe they should move, and it also then allows them to take an extra move. So for example, so say it was like this, the Beaver moved here, then you play the Warn card, and so the Beaver moved here. The Warn, you could go back, well actually you could move anywhere, you could move here. Just get one extra free movement, so let's say you do move backwards, so there you go. So now you're back to the center, so then the Predator would move. In this case, you'd still get eaten if something else wasn't played, so we'll just go ahead and say that the other players are going to play a Distract after the player moves. So that limits the Predator movement to 1 for that movement. Now the player moves again, and now they're feeling a bit pressured, so they play the channel after they move, which lets them move another space. So we show that here, how the Predator moves right away. Otherwise they would have been eaten if no cards were played. So that's how those cards work. Alright, so that is Beaversdam.